Hey everyone, Sunday Nights with Ping here. I was late because I was following a airplane in distress. I was following it, like to see if it landed. I still don't have an update. I was just trying to wait to see if we got any kind of. Yeah, apparently they survived. I just got an update saying that the plane came down and it's okay. I'm just trying to find out a better update. Hold on. They're not updated the article. They're saying that the heart-stopping moment, passenger plane makes miraculous emergency landing after its landing gear failed after takeoff. They're all right. Everyone's all right on the aircraft. That's good news. We don't want any aviation type deaths, today. All right, cool. Let me show you. I can show you the ABDS thing. So they were flying for ages. They were circling, trying to burn off fuel over the airport here for hours, 3 hours. Then they went over the ocean, I guess, to probably burn off more fuel. They climbed to a higher altitude. They got up to about, I don't know, it was about 3,000 feet. And then they came back and then they finally tried for a landing with no nose gear or landing gear. And apparently they're okay. So thank God for that. Apparently 3 passengers on board, 2 pilots. Pretty small flight, but 1 life is too many. Oh, she did? Aw, I didn't see it. I have to go look at it now. She's so sweet. I love Crusher. She's the nicest lady. I saw her on before. She was on. Oh, she's still on. It says here. I can see her on my Twitter. It says Doomsday Prophet Chad Daybell's trial recap and the James and Alina story. So you can go watch that later if you want. Right, Marilyn Landis said these people had guardian angels. I reckon. I don't know what the statistic is for people who like for landings that are successful without a landing gear. I have no idea, but I would hope it's pretty good. I'd hope it's pretty good. All right. So it's Monday morning here in Australia. It is not Sunday night, like it is where you are. I was looking up whether they were able to impanel a new jury in the Gregory Lynn trial, and all I can find is that court was supposed to start about an hour ago or a couple of hours ago. Here, I will show you. So we're waiting for updates out of the court. Says a highly anticipated murder trial for Gregory Lynn, the man accused of murdering missing campers Russell Hill and Carol Clay, is expected to get underway today after a jury issued derailed proceedings last week. Mr. Lynn has pleaded not guilty to the murders of Mr. Hill, 74, and Mrs. Clay, 73, who vanished during a camping trip to the Wonangata Valley in Victoria's Alpine region in 2020. Here's a photo of Gregory Lynn. Looks a little different to this these days in court. The former Jetstar pilot 57, they love saying that he was a pilot. I don't know why. Apparently, pilots don't murder people. I have no idea. It says here is due to front the Supreme Court of Victoria on Monday, with a jury impanelment set to begin in the morning. So they may be going through that right now. It may be why we don't have a ton of reporting on it. I'm not sure how much in Australia they're allowed to give you. Give me a second. I just want to check. There's a reporter that is doing this trial, and I just want to check what they have. Let me see. They're from Channel 9. Yeah, I don't really see much yet. They may be in a period where they can't report directly because I don't see any updates on it at all yet. It's about lunchtime here in Australia right now. I would have thought if there was anything major, we would have had an update already because they're supposed to be doing opening arguments and opening addresses to the to the to the jury. That's very nice of her. I very much appreciate it. That is very nice of Kresha. She is a very nice lady. So it might be tomorrow when I can bring you more about Gregory Lynn and the opening address. Everyone is waiting on that because we want to know what the police know about what they think he did, why it happened, a lot of different things. We've been waiting a long time since 2020 for more information on what happened to Mr. Hill and Mrs. Clay, one of the biggest mysteries in Victoria for a number of years. Two older people who just disappeared into thin air one day after camping. So I'll bring it to you as soon as I know more. I will bring it. Just don't have anything for you right now. They seem to be in a period where they cannot say much, which is typical in Australia. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to some USA type news. I'm just going to grab a couple of these. Some people sent me some great ones, actually. Mr. DJ, I appreciate your pronunciation lesson on Palestine, not Palestine. But imagine if you moved from Palestine to Palestine, you'd have a linguistics problem. Okay, let me grab some more stories for you. You know, we've had a really weird spate of dead bodies showing up in Australia. I saw about 3 different articles over the weekend of, oh, they found a dead body at a beach, they found a dead body at a car park, they found a dead body at a train station. It was really weird. I'll see if I can find a couple for you. There was a couple of random people. Yeah, here's the car park one. So, Station Street in Wollongong, man is charged with murder after body found in car park. A 37-year-old man has been charged with murder after a man was found dead in the stairwell of a car park at a regional train station. New South Wales police were called to the grim discovery was made on Station Street next to Wollongong train station about 7:20 a.m. on Sunday. The dead man is believed to be a 68-year-old local, but he is yet to be formally identified. A 37-year-old man was arrested at Crown Street 10:40 a.m. on Sunday and later charged with murder. He was refused bail and scheduled to appear before the Wollongong local court on Monday. That's today. Very interesting. We've had a few of these, and I'll show you one more. Hold on. I think it was Queensland. Yes. Yeah. Body found inside high ace van parked on Gold.
The late great.
So a completely different state. The other one was in New South Wales in Wollongong. This one is in Queensland, northern Australia. A body found inside a high ace van parked on a Gold Coast beach. They're saying it's unfortunately not a crime as so far. They say a body has been found inside a van parked at a beachside car park on the Gold Coast. Emergency services were called just before 8 a.m. on Monday to Doug Jennings Park at the Spit on Main Beach. Following reports, a man was dead inside a high-ace van. On arrival, police located the man unresponsive and he was declared dead at the scene. Investigations remain ongoing. However, it has been treated as a non-suspicious death. And then you get these down the bottom. Normally, when you get these links down the bottom, it normally means someone has voluntarily left this earth, and it's very unfortunate. So horrible to hear that. If that person felt that was the only way they could do something, maybe they were sleeping in their van and had enough of it. I don't know, but we'll find out more about this guy a little later. All right, now I'll take you to the US. Let's grab my links from online. Actually, someone just emailed me. What is this? What is KSAT? Oh, that's a news station, right? Another town name I can mispronounce. Great. I love when that happens. All right, cool. So apparently they said, what do we know about Windsor Hollow shooting that killed 4-year-old girl, injured 4 other family members? 1 dead, 4 others remain in hospital after Northeast Bayer County shooting. I hope I got that right. No suspects in custody. No suspects in custody? What are these people then? Are they suspects? They look like they have weapons. It says it was a brazen, cold-blooded crime. 2 adults and 3 children were shot by gunmen who fired 30 rounds into their home. A 4-year-old girl was killed. The other family members were critically injured. There's the sheriff, Javier Salazar. We've seen him before. Believes the gunman who they were targeting and were intending to cause maximum damage. So they believe it was a targeted shooting. Let me see if I can find a video on it. Suspect's vehicle believed to be involved in deadly shooting has been found. Okay. Why are you
This
doing to me? Have to pause it. Stupid ads. Why is my ad blocker not working? Sorry, people. My ad blocker normally kills all these ads for you. What are they trying to tell us? What are you trying to sell us? Healthcare? Or is it probably a vitamin company saying that you can have better health if you get no, it's an energy company.
killer's car is found. A new development in the case of shots fired into a family's home that killed a 4-year-old girl. Just days after Bexar County Sheriff's deputies say it was used by 2 murder suspects, the vehicle believed to be the getaway car involved in that shooting has been recovered.
Both the car and the shooters were captured on video, which was released by the sheriff's department just yesterday. And Sheriff Javier Salazar says investigators believe the stolen car that was recovered today is the one used in that shooting. The sheriff says it was found in the Alamo Ranch area by an off-duty officer, but they say it was stolen from Converse a few days before the shooting on Windsor Hollow. Yesterday, the sheriff's office released video they say shows the gray 4-door car that the suspects jumped out of moments before firing into that home. 5 people inside were hit, including the 4-year-old who died after she was shot in the back of the head.
The Bexar County Sheriff's Office asking if you know who these suspects are and where they are. We need to get these guys off the streets. You can call the Sheriff's Office 210-335-6000 if you have any information on who these gunmen are.
There's a vehicle that they found. I think I have a press conference for this. Hold on. Oh, here we go. People running. That is a lot of rounds to go off, right? That's a lot of rounds. Hold on, I'm gonna pause the volume on this. I'm gonna go back. Look at the from the bricks. I'm guessing it's from the bricks or them hitting dirt. You can just see all the powder and ricochet. I mean, the fact the car was stolen previously, they actually do that down here too. They'll steal cars, hide them for a period of time. When no one's looking for it anymore, they use them in murders and hit and runs, different assassination type things down here. That is brutal just for a quiet, looks like a suburban street with, mostly families, a lot of cars and stuff. What caused this? Hold on. Why would they target them? I'm just trying to have a look. Apparently, the 25-year-old mom was shot in the stomach and hip, while the 27-year-old father was also shot. The mother, Luna's daughter, gave permission for KSAT to use their first names of her child. Michael, 7, was shot in the arm and abdomen, and her 8-year-old Keanu was shot in the knee. The 25-year-old mom was shot in the stomach and hip, while the 27-year-old father was shot. What did they do? Is this like a mistaken identity? I wonder. Let me see if I can grab the press conference from Salazar. Because this is odd. No, this is an old one. I don't want to watch an old one. Yeah, 30 rounds. I don't want to watch an old one. It's like 3 days old. There's no point watching this. Let me see if I got a better update for you from today. There's no point watching something from 3 days ago. News moves so fast. 3 days is like a lifetime. I'm trying to figure out why someone sent this to me if this is 3 days old. I think they just said I didn't cover it. I think they're just saying I didn't cover it and they wanted me to. That's it. There we go. They're saying here what happened about 7:40 p.m. Wednesday. A grey car believed to be an Infiniti Q50 drove up to Windsor Oaks and stopped right past the intersection. We saw that video. Two men got out of the vehicle, ran to the townhome, and fired nearly 30 rounds into the home before running back to the car and driving off. And then they're saying the two men believed to be in their 20s. Both the shooters were wearing balaclava head coverings, and at least one was wearing tactical gear. Both were carrying Draco AK-47 style guns, and they fired 30 7.62 caliber rounds into the home. They said there may have been others waiting in the vehicle that they weren't able to see. They said on Friday they found a vehicle that matches the car driven by the shooters. It was found near Alamo Ranch by an off-duty law enforcement officer who was walking his dog. What a find by him. The car's been reported stolen several days ago out of Converse. Okay. They said they're focusing on, trying to find these people. They said the 4-year-old girl, Mary Ann, died of a gunshot wound to the head, and then we read out the other injuries to the other people just before. Let's see this. Hold on.
I just hope that they catch them because they deserve to rot in hell for what they did to my babies.
That a grandmother's raw message to the killers who took her 4-year-old granddaughter in her family's home. A hail of bullets that has ripped a family's heart out.
Now, 4 other people were hurt in that shooting on Windsor Hollow, including 2 more children. Tonight, their loved ones want to know who's responsible and why.
Catching those suspects, priority number 1. Today, Sheriff Javier Salazar confirmed a car that matches the suspect's vehicle was found in the Alamo Ranch area. That car was reported stolen in Converse a few days before that shooting.
Now, that's right. And a warning, the details we're about to show you and you're going to hear in this story are graphic. As deputies get closer to finding the suspects, we're also hearing from the victims' family members.
As the night team's Avery Everett reports, they are heartbroken and tonight searching for answers.
And I just don't understand it. Like, who does stuff like this? Why? What happened?
A family fighting back tears and trying to understand.
And you're still searching for answers.
I'm still searching. I want to know why.
Why 2 suspects shot at their family's home on Windsor Hollow Wednesday night. When the gunfire was over, 4 people were hurt, including 2 of April Luna's grandchildren, and her 4-year-old granddaughter was dead.
I just want my granddaughter back. I want her back.
Luna shared these photos of 4-year-old Marianne with us. The medical examiner still hasn't released her name yet, but Marianne's mom, who was shot and is still in the hospital, gave us permission to show these images and videos, hoping someone in this community will come forward with answers.
She wanted everything in life. Anything she could do, she wanted to do it.
These are images of the 2 other boys shot, Michael and Keanu, who have been in the hospital since Wednesday night. Their grandmother says they're both alive, but have serious injuries. She was there when the shooting happened.
It was just so loud and it just didn't stop.
Luna says she held on to 4-year-old Marianne until help arrived.
They shot her in the face and her lip was hanging out her mouth and she had blood just gushing out her back. I didn't know what to do, so I just lifted her body and took her outside and I was screaming like, please help me.
This family is devastated.
The house is just riddled with bullets. There's blood everywhere. There's no way those children could live in that house and not be traumatized.
And they say they need help finding the answers.
If you know something, say something.
To get justice for this little girl and get these 2 suspects behind bars.
I don't know what to say. Can they even go back to that property? Look how messed up it is. It's going to need some work. I don't know if they said they owned it or they're renting, but look, it's just riddled with bullet holes. And I feel sorry. Look at her other children. I mean, where's that one where they had there was an open shot of the house and you could just see like all the evidence markers. Look at this everywhere. Like the blinds are all messed up. I don't know if the walls inside are all riddled with bullets, and This is in Texas. So, what a horrible thing to happen. And they're saying northeast side home targeted by gunman who killed 4-year-old child. Wow. It's a really cowardly thing to do. Just walk up to a random home and start firing. But that's like, I know someone in the chat said, is it a mistaken identity? Oftentimes these are like shootings are because the people with the guns get things wrong and think they're at the right place and they're not. It's like in a different area. It has a similar spelling, that type of thing. You pronounce it wrong like I do, that type of thing. 20 years old and they just killed a little child. Got to get him off the street. Got to find him. This, like, they look like they're in the middle of a war. These guys look like they're running towards a, military situation. Ridiculous. Ridiculous for downtown, like, someone's suburban property. Hopefully the police can figure it out. This is horrible. By the way, I just got an update on that airplane in Australia. You can see the landing if you want.
Now, it's a Beech B200 Super King Air. It took off just after 8:30 this morning, bound for Port Macquarie from Newcastle Airport, but it only got about an hour away when trouble struck. It's been circling in the air for more than 2 hours, dumping fuel. We understand there are at least 3 passengers on board, along with the flight crew. It's coming into land now. The landing gear is up, the engines are off, and it's coming in to make a belly landing at Newcastle Airport. It's going to glide for about 500 metres. And at the moment, it looks like it's a very safe touchdown. There is a massive emergency response crew on the ground there. They will be rushing to the scene right now.
What a landing. They should get like a round of applause for that. That was so well done. I mean, that looked like they had wheels. Didn't see any sparks fly up or anything from the bottom of the plane. I liked at the end, they were going dead straight on that runway, and then they sort of did like a little skid at the end and went sideways. But that is really good news that they landed safely. Hopefully the plane can be repaired and inspected by the, what is our one called? It's like the NASTB or whatever, the National Aeronautic, whatever. I know, great piloting. The pilot did a great job. Same with the co-pilot. They probably did it together. Reby said, I did give a round of applause. Of course. You broke your fuel pump? That's not good. Hey, Tina, how are you? Good to see you. By the way, good to see everyone. Shock is here. Laura, Marilyn Landis, the beauty that we saw yesterday. I mean, she's probably had male suitors emailing her all night. Sharon's here. Hey, Sharon. Burnt popcorn. Juicy Jules said, ping wifey good Mother's Day. Well, it's Monday here, so it's no longer Mother's Day, but I hope everyone out there had a great Mother's Day today if you are in the Northern Hemisphere. Angela, good to see you. Peekaboo Cockatiel. DJ's also here. Mamma Mia. Diane is here. Hi, how are you? Edget. Hey, Edget. Marjorie. Yeah, I appreciate Kresha. I hope Elmom's doing good. I haven't seen her in a while. I have to email her, see how she's doing. Kathy Lynch. Hey, good to see you. Who else have we got? Marilyn Landis, Marjorie. Kelly in Texas. Hey, how are you? DJ was here earlier, probably listening on his transistor radio. Maria's here. I hope I didn't miss anyone, but good to have everyone here tonight. Hey, sweet Melissa. Good to see you. All right. Good news. We had a plane land. Not good news. We had a child killed in a shooting in Texas. What a horrible thing. All right. Let's move on. I have. This is from Sean. Let me see what it is first before I play it. Okay.
Local woman who was convicted of killing one of her children is no longer on parole. The State Department of Corrections saying Mary Beth Tinning was released from post-release supervision in July. She served 30 years in prison for killing her 4-month-old daughter, Tammy Lynn, in 1985. Tinning, who is now in her 80s, was released from prison 5 years ago. 8 of her children died under suspicious circumstances, but she was only charged with one of the deaths.
She reminds me of that woman.
Tonight, 2 brothers accused in a deadly ambush at a Houston gas station last month were in court today. And listen to this, their bond was set way above what prosecutors had asked for. Sherman Chow's outside.
Good for you. She reminds me very much of the woman from Australia who was originally charged with killing all her children and recently was found. She had her trial overturned because of new scientific evidence and pressure by a couple of renowned people in that type of child health area. They were able to put together a decent argument on why she didn't kill her children, and she ended up being released from prison. Yeah, good to see you. I hope everyone had a good Mother's Day out there. Yeah, they found out they had some sort of really rare genetic kind of health disorder, and that may have contributed to their early deaths. I know this one's a little bit different. I've never heard of this one, so I'm going to find, what is her name? Mary Beth Tinning. Let's see. It's a little before my time, 1985. 1985, but apparently she's been released. Let's see what we can find about her. Yeah, maybe I can get you some muffin. Chlorine. So here it has her Wikipedia. I can't say I've ever heard of her. So they're saying that is an American murderer and suspected serial killer who was convicted in New York State of murder of her 9th child, 4-month-old Tammy Lynn, on December 20, 1985. She is suspected to be similarly involved in previous deaths of her 8 children, all of which took place in the span of 14 years. The cause of death for Tinning's first 8 children was initially thought to be genetic. Even when their 6th child, Michael, who was adopted and not of blood relation, died in 1981, authorities failed to open investigation. Really? You're just like, yeah, that happens all the time. All children die. It says here, eventually the county prosecutors had enough evidence, a laboratory test indicating death from asphyxia caused by suffocation, to charge Tinning in Tammy Lynn's death. In July 1987, she was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 20 years to life in prison. An appeal to the New York Supreme Court arguing that her confession was coerced and that there was insufficient evidence to convict her was denied. So it's unclear if Tinning had ever been diagnosed with, is it Munchausen by proxy? So they think, some people believe she might have a pattern for it. Could be true. They're saying that her behavior aligns perfectly with the DSM-5 development and course section on the disorder in individuals with recurrent episodes of falsification of signs and symptoms of illness and or induction of injury. This pattern of successive deception contact with medical personnel, including hospitalizations, may become lifelong. It says here, she was incarcerated in a correctional facility in Bedford Hills, New York. She was denied parole 6 times, but was granted parole at her 7th hearing in July 2018 and was released on August 21 of that year. So why are you sending me this, Mr. Sean? He says, I watched a doco on this person and he found it interesting. I can't say I've ever heard of it, Sean, but she killed 9 of her children. It sounds like almost a reverse of the Australian woman. The Australian woman was originally charged and convicted over the death of her children because they thought she had killed them. It later turned out that medically it was probably a genetic disorder. This woman had the reverse situation. Originally, they thought it was all a genetic disorder, but then realized that, no, she actually killed her children. So it's almost like the inverse of the Australian case. Marjorie says, I remember this case. I was living in Connecticut expecting my first child. That would have been a really hard case to watch at the time. It's way before my time. 1980, what was it? 1987. I was 3 years old. And so I may not remember it. I was a little young at the time. Hold on. Sorry, I had to grab Muff. He was doing something over here. 3 kilometers. You need like a, what do they call it? Like one of those electronic bikes. So when your car breaks down, you can just take an electronic bike. You don't even have to pedal. Yeah, truly a monster. I think anyone who kills children is, you know, has a special place in hell for them. Did we get an update on Asha today? Let's have a look. Asha Sullivan, 3 hours ago, 1 hour ago. Let's have a look. Apparently, oh, that's not a good update. The updates just seem to be getting worse and worse. Says here on Sunday, they said Asher had a really, really rough night. Neurological signs we were seeing as positives have stopped. He had some real tough moments with pulse, blood pressure, and breathing. MRI shows part of the brain herniating into his brainstem and severe damage to just about all areas of his brain. Sullivan said, despite what they are seeing, they are still hoping against all odds, but the worst case scenario seems to have come true. That is not what we were hoping for. I think we were hoping for a miracle here. That is not good. Let me see if this is an update that I can play you. Hold on. No, it's not. Yeah. So they're saying here he remains on life support. Apparently, they said he's not in imminent danger at this very moment, but recovery does not seem possible. They say Casey and I have some impossible decisions to make in the next few days that no parent should have to make. Please pray for our family and our sweet Asha. So, if you don't know what this is, it was a little boy who got swept into a storm drain during the storms last week, and he was under the drains for like 15 minutes in the drainage system, and they found him as he came out on another part of the drain, not too far away from his home, but not where he went in. And he'd been under for so long, apparently, he was showing very little brain activity once in hospital. Really horrible. Thank you, DJ. DJ just showed me something. That case that we were talking about a little bit earlier about the shooting in Bear County. He's saying that the address seems to be possibly a some sort of rental situation, that possibly it's a owner out of California. I wonder if maybe it was a previous resident. You'd have to know how long they lived there. Let me see what this says. I can't get it. Save image. Yep. Okay. No, it doesn't have any rental details, but if it is a rental, I wonder if it's a previous resident that they were looking for, like someone who used to live there. That's happened more than one time. I've seen that in several different cases where people have gone and shot up a home, broken in, killed someone, and then gone, oh, the person I was looking for doesn't live here anymore. They moved. Oh no. Right. What a Mother's Day for that family. I mean, that's awful. And for his father. I mean, I don't think it affects them differently just because it's Mother's Day. I think they're both going through an extremely hard time, unfortunately. Look, let's keep praying and sending good vibes. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a miracle. Be nice. If there's one out there, if anyone has a spare one, send it to Asher. Let's see here. Let me grab you another story. Trying to clear up the stories that are on my list that I haven't been able to do. This one's a little old too, but it's interesting. So they're saying a suspect shot and killed an officer. Columbus officer recovering at Grant Hospital. This is in Ohio. A man suspected of leaving the scene after firing multiple gunshots at an Amazon fulfillment center Sunday died following a confrontation with Columbus police a short time later. What, was he angry that they didn't deliver in 24 hours? He was like, "You still have my block of cheese. I need my cheese. I cannot complete my pizza. And I'm going to come down there and threaten you with a firearm." Maybe he was angry. I mean, Amazon here screws up my orders all the time. The Amazon shooting happened at the facility in the 6400 block of State Route 29 Northeast in West Jefferson about 4:45 p.m. By the time officers from multiple agencies had arrived, the man, an employee at that facility, had left and was at large. Oh no, he works there. Maybe he just hates it. And then they said about 90 minutes later, officers found that person who has not been named in the area of Georgeville and Climb Roads. The Columbus police dispatcher confirmed to WSYX that the man fired at least one shot that struck a CPD officer. That dispatcher also said it happened at about 6:50 p.m. and that the suspected Amazon shooter was in a critical condition at Doctors West Hospital. Then about 10 minutes later confirmed the man had died. Let's play the update here. What a weird thing to happen.
Yeah, Isabel, luckily I'm hearing that officer is expected to be okay. There have been dozens of CPD officers here providing support for them today. I just got done speaking with Brian Steele with the Fraternal Order of Police. He says that officer is luckily going home to his family tonight. And he talks about how this is one of the fears and dangers that officers face every day. He did clarify to me that officers did in fact fire back at that suspect, killing that suspect today. Before we were exactly sure how that happened. You will hear from him later on in our show. For now, reporting live, I'm Carly Van Cleve, Fox 28 News.
As investigators work to piece together exactly what led to this violent Sunday evening, we're walking you through everything we know. Witnesses describing the tense moments this all went down. A chaotic scene playing out along Georgesville and Climb on the west side. A suspect on the run. Officers looking to track him down. The search ending here at this bustling intersection.
All of a sudden, we had all these cops everywhere.
This is actually pretty shocking.
Witnesses with a clear view of how it all played out.
There has to be a reason why. Why?
Columbus police confirming the armed suspect fired a shot, hitting an officer. All of it playing out on a busy Mother's Day evening.
They're putting their life on the line.
I mean, this is not supposed to happen on a day for mothers.
Investigators shutting down traffic for hours as they gathered evidence. This scene, a shock to the system for those seeing it firsthand. Following that confrontation with police, we're told that suspect was taken to Doctors West Hospital, where he was pronounced dead just before 7.
Well, I'm very glad the officer is alive. I mean, that would have been an awful day not to go home from work, right? That wasn't the story I was hoping to bring you. I saved one last night that I was reading about, and then I loaded the wrong story. So blame Ping. I want to show you a different story. I just want to try bring it up. Hold on. The F is that? Yeah, from the factory. Okay. Yeah. So Alabama woman, 44, faces death penalty after pushing woman 37 off cliff to her death and posting chilling pictures from where the victim's remains were found. That's pretty brutal. It says a woman in Alabama accused of killing a mother by pushing her off a cliff is facing the death penalty. Loretta K. Carr, 44, and her daughter Jessie Kelly, 22, were both charged with murder in June 2023, nearly 2 years after Mary Elizabeth Isbell, 38, went missing. Authorities searched far and wide for her body, but were unable to find any trace of the missing Alabama mother until last year. It emerged that Carr shared a photo of her by the murder spot in January 2019 at Little River Canyon National Preserve. Now the state of Alabama has provided notice to Carr's defense team that it will be seeking the death penalty. Here's the photo that she took. That is pretty morbid if that's the same place that she pushed a woman to her death. I think that is very, very spooky. They see the 44-year-old and her daughter Jessie Kelly were both charged with murder in June 2023. And this is a woman that they apparently killed. They said court documents filed reveal that Alabama prosecutors are seeking the death penalty for Carr. Carr and her daughter were detained 3 days before the remains of Isbell were located. Photos of her at the site of the murder later emerged. She wrote, "Day trip to Little River Canyon and Falls. Was beautiful, only a little ways from the house." That's morbid. It says here Carr has been held at DeKalb County Jail in Fort Payne, Alabama. She is charged with kidnapping and capital murder, but she insists there is no evidence. Her attorneys previously argued the state does not have enough evidence to justify confinement or send the case to a grand jury. Her daughter was arrested in Pennsylvania and extradited to Alabama. Carr is accused of abducting Isbell before pushing her from a cliff on October 18, 2021. It's still unclear how the women knew each other. Yeah, that is interesting. Here's another photo of the woman that they allegedly murdered. I want to find something better about this, though. Daily Mail sucks a lot of the time. Hold on. All right, that's better. Let me load this for you.
DeKalb County prosecutors want to send an accused killer to death row. A new court filing reveals they are seeking the death penalty for Loretta Carr. Carr faces a capital murder charge in the death of 37-year-old Mary Elizabeth Isbell. Authorities found Isbell's remains in the Little River Canyon National Preserve in Fort Payne last year. Isbell was last seen in November 2021. Both Carr and her daughter, Jessie Kelly, are accused of pushing Isbell off a cliff after kidnapping her. Kelly's next court appearance is set for next month.
From lawyer to felon. Tonight,
so people are asking for a motive. Don't know. Maybe she was jealous of her beauty. Maybe, like Kathy Lynch says, it was over a man. Maybe they just were like, hey, we hate that biatch and wanted to kill her. I don't know. Murder is normally one of four things: money, lust, love, jealousy, that type of thing. They normally fall under the few little type of subjects. They don't really tend to go outside of that. So we'll find out. Let me look up a little bit more about this because it is odd. What did they do? Just walk her to the cliff and boot her off? Is that really the photo they got in prison of her? That almost looks like a dude in a rock band, like from the 80s or the 70s, like in one of those hair metal bands. I almost thought that was like a Halloween dress up thing by a guy. I'm not being mean. It looks very different to the other photos. I thought it was actually this guy wearing a long blonde hair thing. It says here the time of Isbell's disappearance remains muddled. In the months leading up to her disappearance, she was suspected of a theft in DeKalb County. The sheriff's office said the theft involved an apartment she was living at with her boyfriend, James Allen Wright. James Wright was arrested by the sheriff's office in September 2021 and released to a Florida rehab facility in November 2021. The sheriff's office said that while he was in jail, Isbell was essentially homeless, moving between friends' houses and living where she could in DeKalb County. Her mother, Debbie Wood, told a local news channel that Isbell became entangled with a bad crowd. I think she got mixed up with some of the wrong people. She described her relationship with Wright as new but troubled, saying they were always getting into fights with each other. Carr is accused of abducting her and pushing her from a cliff on October 18, 2021. However, according to another police report on November 22nd, 2021, she visited her mother's house in Hartselle. She was spotted the next day, November 23rd, 2021, across the street from her son's school. Isabel's ex-husband, Stephen, said on December 27, 2021, that she was missing. It seems like their timeline is a little messy. They don't have it completely tied down as of yet. Because you got some of these random sightings that they can't verify. Apparently, the PD or the police department detectives searched the home where she was staying on the day of Steve Isbell's Facebook post, December 27, 2021. Physical evidence was removed from the home and entered into a national database, but no match was found at the time. Relatives officially reported her missing in January 2022 to the police department and the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office, and on January 19, 2022, a missing poster was placed on their website. The case went quiet until June 20 last year, when DeKalb County investigators received information about Isbell's disappearance and interviewed two people in connection with her killing. Carr was arrested on June 25th. Officers discovered her remains on June 28th. So, a very warped case. We'll have to see what happens when they go to court. I'm at a loss too. Power, jealousy, yeah. Yeah, like a wig, right. Shasta says, like the Twisted Sister lead singer. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. You might be right. Could be over drugs. Could be, since they seem to be having some sort of drug issues at the time. I can show you the original arrest video, I think. Hold on. Yes, 28th of June, 2023.
2 years after a missing North Alabama woman was last seen, another woman is now facing capital murder charges in her death.
Yeah, the suspect is accused of pushing the victim off of a cliff. And our News 19's Kayla Smith is joining us now live with the latest in this case. Kayla?
Carmen, Lauren, we are still working to get information about how investigators tied the suspect to the death of the victim, Mary Elizabeth Isbell. Here's what we know from a criminal complaint filed this week. The document shows Loretta Carr from Fort Payne is charged with capital murder. Jail records reveal Carr was booked into the DeKalb County Jail Sunday night. Carr is accused of abducting Isbell in October of 2021. Hartselle Police and the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office reported Isbell missing a few months later in January of 2022. Investigators at the time said the 37-year-old had family in Hartselle but was last known to live in DeKalb County. According to court documents, the suspect is accused of intentionally causing Isbell's death by, quote, pushing her off of a cliff. We've reached out to the agencies involved in this investigation to get more details about any possible connection between the suspect and the victim. As we learn more, we will keep you updated on air and online. Reporting live this morning, Kayla Smith.
So that video was just when they were arrested and charged over the murder. Hey, Robbie T. I hope you had a good Mother's Day too, with your loved ones. Okay, I actually have an update on Gregory Lynn. Finally, let me grab it for you, wherever it is. Come on, stupid website. Let's go. Here we go. So they've chosen a second jury. If you remember last week, They were supposed to start on Friday, and then just before 10 a.m. on Friday, we got told the jury they had impaneled on Thursday was getting kicked out. They were releasing them. For what reason? We don't know. It was never explained by the judge, just that they didn't want to embarrass anyone and that it was a technical issue. I'm not a lawyer, I don't know. Says here, a jury has been impaneled in the double murder trial of Gregory Lynn in the Victorian Supreme Court. Lynn, 57, has pleaded not guilty to murdering Russell Hill and Carol Clay in the state's Alpine region in March 2020. 15 jurors, 8 men, 7 women, were impaneled on Monday afternoon. 3 of the jurors will be reserve jurors, which Justice Michael Croucher explained were considered necessary given the trial was expected to take 4 to 6 weeks. Croucher earlier told the court that Lynn was accused of killing Hill and Clay at Bucks Camp in the Onondaga Valley on or about 20th of March 2020. Croucher said Lynn was a Jetstar airline captain at the time of the alleged murders. He's alleged to have shot Clay, 73, in the head and to have killed Hill, 74. The jury pool was earlier given a list of dozens of potential witnesses or other people allegedly connected to the case, including police, court staff, scientists, and park rangers. Should the 15 jurors still be available at the end of the trial, Croucher said there would be 3 would be balloted off, so they'll remove 3 randomly from the group, aside from the 4-person, before deciding on a verdict. So they'll get down to the required number. They're just going to keep 3 as emergency issues. Should someone get sick, should someone have to not go anymore, it's life. Things come up. Maybe a family member gets unwell, like a child, and they have to take care of them. Maybe that will happen so they can't continue. Things happen. It says here the trial is expected to hear openings from the prosecutor and Lynn's lawyer on Tuesday and then start hearing from witnesses. So we'll have to wait till tomorrow to hear opening remarks. So we're about a day behind now, a day or 2 behind in this murder trial because of that jury issue last week. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Andrew says, I wonder if Alabama has ever death penaltyed a woman. I think they have. Hold on. The last woman to be executed in Alabama was Linda Lyon Block. She was executed by electrocution on May 10th, 2002. Her conviction was for capital murder. She criminal penalty death, December 21, 1994. So she was convicted and sentenced to death in December 21st, 1994. I actually don't know who this is, which isn't surprising. I don't know anyone, apparently. This was the last woman executed in Alabama. I don't know if any of you guys recognize her. Who did she kill? She killed her husband? On October 4th, 1993, Block's common-law husband, George, and Block's 9-year-old son were in a parked car in the parking lot of a Walmart in Alabama. A passerby expressed concern for Block's son to the police department, saying it appeared to her as if the boy wanted help. She also believed the family could be living in the vehicle. Oh, okay, no. Wait, what was her charge? She murdered Sergeant Roger Lamar Motley Jr. I don't know that. Can't say I know this one. It is way before my time. There is a good channel here who has a video on it. I can't play it. I would never do that to another creator on YouTube. But what I will do is, if you would like to learn more about her, I will give you the link to their channel. I don't know if they upkeep this channel at all. Their channel is called Strange Encounters and True Crime. It looks like They haven't uploaded anything in a while, but they've got a lot of death row type things. I'll show you. So this is the channel here. It says, "Hi, my name is Amber. I'm 26 years old and live in the United States." Hi, Amber. What does it say here? "I'm obsessed with true crime, unsolved mysteries, and unexplained disappearances and other strange happenings. On my channel, I will read true crime stories from Reddit and discuss criminal cases with mysterious circumstances. If you have any content suggestions or stories you want me to narrate, please let me know." There we go. Pretty cool. It seems like she may... Looks like she's still doing some sort of things on her channel, but she's no longer producing any videos. Last video produced on true crime was over 3 years ago. But I will give you the link to the video on this particular case from her channel. There's the link to her video. I don't know what they do in Alabama anymore. Let's have a look. I would have thought it was lethal injection. Yes, it is. So it says here, from 1812 to 1927, the primary method of execution was hanging. In 1927, the electric chair known as Yellow Mama was introduced. Today, the primary method is lethal injection. Although inmates convicted prior to 2002 can choose to be executed by electrocution or lethal injection. So I guess because their cases predate lethal injection, they have a choice. You can have the needle, or you can get zapped to death. So there you go. But I think they mostly use lethal injection now. So I hope that answers your question. So I think they do, but only for cases prior to 2002 that are still waiting on death row. That's the only way. Or unless you launched a high court challenge to say you can't do lethal injection because you have sensitive skin and you might break out in a rash if you have a needle. They might give you the electrocution. I know, right? I'd like it to be the worst thing ever. Don't put me to sleep via needle. Give me the electric. Give me the wires. Green Mile-ish, a little bit. Angela says, I would choose firing squad. I actually think that's one of the best methods, especially if you can get a firing squad that has the several members that have blank rounds and only one has the actual bullet. So the others have blanks, one has a real round, and they all shoot. That way, there's no guilt by the executioner because they don't know who killed the inmate. I like that method. I think it's I'm not for or against the death penalty, but if it had to happen, that's probably one of the better methods. The Three Stooges, yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get another. I have one more that I saved. Where is it? Let's see what we've got. Nope, that's not it. It was about a missing woman. We had a missing woman story and now I can't find it. Let's see if I can grab it. No. Although there is I don't know if anyone has been following this one. It says his little girl grew up to be the monster. Woman gets 2 life terms in LBI murders. I didn't know this one either. Sherry Lee Heffernan, her lips were upturned slightly in a faint smile Friday as she learned of her 2 life prison terms for 2 murders described as depraved. that of her elderly father and his father's longtime girlfriend, who were both shot and repeatedly stabbed in their Long Beach Island home in 2021. Heffernan, 57, of Landenberg, Pennsylvania, stood calmly as a Superior Court judge, imposed the pair of consecutive life prison terms on her for the murders of her father, John, and his partner, Francois, or Frenchie, 75. So he was 87 and his partner was 75. They were, if you make it to that age, no one should be allowed to mess with you. No one. That should be like a badge of honor to get to 87 or 75. That should be like a badge of honor. No one should be allowed to mess with you, and if they do, it should be like automatic execution, because it's an achievement. It really is. The fact that you lived a well life and you are able to get close to 90 or 85 or whatever, fantastic. And the fact that this woman took it away is very cruel. Says minutes earlier, Heffernan sobbed as she professed her love for the victims and continued to maintain her innocence, despite a jury's guilty verdict following a trial in February. She said, "I really wish I was the one who was killed, that I was the one who died. This is horrible pain. It's horrible to lose people you love and then be blamed for it." Okay, lady. Let's see what this video is.
Every time I talk to her, every time Mr. Mel talks to her, same thing. I didn't kill my father. I didn't kill Francois. I love my father. I didn't kill him. I didn't kill him. I didn't kill him.
I really wish I was the one that was killed, and I was the one that was dead. This is horrible. The pain. I don't know why they were so horrifically taken, but I would give my life today in a heartbeat if we spare them. I'm just so sorry that we all lost people we love, and I don't know why. And if I could give my life right this second, I would give it back. It is horrible to lose people you love and then be blamed for it and not be able to make sense of it.
The lady who gave me life, my mom, she was the rock to our family, a lady that lit up any room she walked in. She lived her life giving and taking care of others. To know her is to love her. And I was truly blessed by God to have her for my mom. One phrase I will keep with me for all times is that I am still her daughter. I am still her daughter, and the distance between heaven and earth will never change that.
Then when she reached the bottom of the stairs, that's when the defendant, who had already stabbed her 17 times, inflicted the remaining of the stab wounds, including slicing her neck to cut her jugular vein, where she would ultimately die. Jack is seated in a chair covered with clothing. Frenchie was left in basically a fetal position at the base of the stairs. Jack stabbed 51 times, Frenchie 39 times, both shot in the mouth. And I said it's important that those gunshot wounds were not kill shots. They were shots that were made to injure, to inflict pain, harm. Your Honor, I submit that those actions were heinous and cruel and depraved.
And with count one of indictment number 2110-1708, the murder of John Enders, a first-degree offense, you are hereby sentenced to life in prison. NJSA 2C:43-72B states that for the purposes of determining parole ineligibility, a life sentence shall be 75 years, of which 85% must be served before being eligible for parole. That calculates to 63 years, 9 months, and 3 days. On indictment number 2110-1708, count one, the murder of Francois Patois, a first-degree offense, you are hereby sentenced to life in prison.
So we actually learnt about that. By the way, story by Kathleen Hopkins, video by Doug Hood. Props to those people from app.com. App.com produced this video. Used under fair use on YouTube. Sorta. We learnt about that thing earlier about how there's different categories, and depending on the category that you put, like you're a category 1 or category 2 or category 3, is depending on how much time you have to serve. So I think the fact that she's an 85% sentence, she would be considered a category 3 inmate, which means that she has to serve 85%. So what they say, 66 years in prison for her. That is a long sentence, and she was still denying her involvement right till the end, saying, "I wish I died. I wish it wasn't them. It's horrible what happened, the pain of losing my loved ones." But hey, a jury believed her. We'll see what happens. Yeah, she had more reaction when she was asked to give her own statement rather than hearing about the details of how they died. Shot in the mouth. What an awful way to go. And for people that she supposedly loved, it was supposed to be her older age parents. I hate using the word elderly. It's not a nice word. And I like to use the word older. So they were older people, and they still had value. Older people still have value in our society. Just because they're a little older doesn't mean they're useless. They could have helped younger people learn things that, there's a lot of things that they know that we don't know because we don't do it anymore. And they still have that type of, information they can share, pass on, teach people. She took them from this earth, so they can't do any of that. That's knowledge that is lost. Let me have a look. Look, they're wearing a T-shirt here. You can see. Never forget, and a photo of them both. How nice. Let me just see if there was. Began stabbing her stabbing rampage on the victims as they were asleep in their bed around 5 a.m. She shot both victims in the mouth, not to kill them, but to make them suffer. Hold on. Let me see. Here. Enders in all were stabbed 51 times. Patoy was stabbed 39 times. What the hell? That's overkill. Way, way overkill. There's a photo of her listening to the evidence, and interesting, they got blue handcuffs. I've never seen that before. Colored handcuffs. They say the act was committed with extreme depravity. You stab someone, or like two people, almost, what is it, 90 times, and then shoot them as well. It's overkill. And it must have come from a place of anger. Most people who kill in an accident or whatever just sort of like stab someone or shoot them and then they run away. They're like, "Oh my god, what did I do?" Not like this. Not like 90 times. Sweet Melissa says, "My great grandmother taught me so much in broken English." I bet she did. She probably had great things to teach you. Sorry, had to cough. Reason said, "Hello from Indiana." Hey, my friend. Good to see you, Reason. Stabbed while fleeing down the stairs. It's awful. I'm just trying to see if there's any more information here. They said that Heffernan was angry that her father was selling her his waterfront home in Ocean County, a property she had wanted for herself. And she believed that his new partner, or that he'd had for a long time, interfered in his life and was telling him to do stuff that, didn't benefit her. The judge just said that relatives of the victims applauded when Rahil handed down the sentence. Heffernan must serve 63 years and 9 months and 3 days in prison before parole can be considered. But at her age, she would be what, 110? I don't know if that would come true. Let me just double check. Thought they said that she was already middle-aged. And she's 57, so Ping can't do math that quickly. 57 plus 63. No, she'd have to live to 120. I think she might make it. She might make it. 120? I don't know. 120. It's a bit of a stretch. She'll die in prison. She will never see free world again, unless she wins an appeal or something. But about dollars, it normally is money, sex, drugs, jealousy, that type of thing. She looks older than 57. She does. Marilyn Landis looks 35, and Marilyn Landis is, Marilyn Landis is 35. She is. Diane Marie says, I lived in Carmel, Indiana for 2 years. Very pretty. I can't say I've ever lived in Indiana. Indianapolis is 50 minutes away. Ah. Yes, Marilyn. That's why you have such a young boyfriend. Andrew says, everyone I know from Indiana is nice. Yeah, I think I've met mostly nice people from Indiana as well. Is that what brings you out of the woodwork, Shivers Girl? I will be 66 in June. Congratulations. Good work in getting there. Did any of you watch Nikki Glazer, the documentary, the HBO stand-up? I did. Of course I did. Someday You'll Die. I watched that. It was great. And she said, I don't like to dwell on thoughts of death for more than, 10 to 15 hours a day. And I was like, man, that rings so true. Even though me and Nikki are actually the same age. And I was like, I get it. So congratulations for making it to 66 in June. I think that is fantastic. Reeby says, if anyone else hasn't already told me that, yes, we're still looking for people. If you want to give your town, city, and country, or you can just do city and country, let us know in the comments or the chat. We're trying to do a round 2 of thumbnails for the channel. We had a great round 1. We went from, where did we go? We went Arizona, we went Wisconsin. Hold on, I can tell you. Where is it? Chat cities here. So we went from, hey, it's being a dork today. I don't know why. We went like Georgia and Colorado, North Carolina, Australia, Townsville, St. Louis, Missouri. Wisconsin. Where else did we go? Sunshine Coast Hinterland, Queensland, Australia. And then we went to Oshawa, Ontario. That's Mr. Gambler. Chesapeake Bay Bridge, Maryland. We did Maryland at one point. Where else did we go? Oradell County in Maryland. We did another Maryland one. We did Edinburgh, Scotland. That was for Angela. We did Mesa, Arizona. I think we did 2 Arizonas. Yeah, Tempe, Arizona as well. And I think we did Japan as well at one point. Kyoto, Japan. So we've done heaps. If you want to see your town or city, and I'll show you what they look like. If you have never seen one for some reason. These are sort of what they look like, and we use them throughout the week, and people get a kick out of seeing their town on the channel. So here's one for the Late Late Show. So this is for Tempe, Arizona. This is one of our thumbnails. And we'll do your town. Oh, Edinburgh. What? Oh, Edinburgh. There you go. Harvey Bay, Queensland. We can do Harvey Bay, Queensland. Newcastle, Delaware. We can do that. New Brunswick, Canada. Canada. Yeah, we can do that. What else have we got? Pennsylvania. We've done a couple Pennsylvania, I think. I think we had a couple. I did see Tom Brady's roast, of course, because Nikki Glazer was on there. We've done Huntington Beach, California. If I can find it, I will show it to you. We have done Huntington Beach. Let me see if I can quickly find it. I don't know what's going on with my... Normally I can scroll through my photos like side to side and go really quick, but my arrows are not here. Hold on. Properties. F is going on. I don't know what's going on with my photos. But we did do Huntington Beach. I know we did. Actually, I'll go here. It's easier if I do it through the Dropbox. Here. No, it's Fort Lauderdale. San Diego. We did San Diego. Charlotte, North Carolina. I know we did it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find it. What's this one? We did Akron, Ohio too. Fort Lauderdale, yeah. I can't find it right now, but I know we did do Oh, here it is. Huntington Beach. Found it. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no, wait. This is Oceanside, California. That I know who that is. I know. I'll ask Reby. Reby will know. Reby, did we do Huntington already? Reby's in the chat. She'll tell us. We didn't do Idaho Falls. We did. We can do Du Bois, Pennsylvania. We did. What town was that? We did Idaho, right? What town is this? Maybe it's not your town. We did Farmington, Utah. I know that. Maybe we didn't do Idaho. I'll have to ask Reby. We can do it though. We'll come to Idaho. Late to the party? Okay. Oceanside is near San Diego. Yeah, I know whose town that is. No, it's all right. We will do one. Sacramento? No, I don't think we've done Sacramento. So we've got a whole bunch of good towns in the chat. If you are listening on the replay crew, leave it in the comments and yeah, leave sort of town, state, country. If it's American, we'll probably realize when you say the town or city. But if it's we'd love people from Europe, Asia, New Zealand, that type of thing. Some further afield places would be cool. By the way, I wanted to reply to someone who left a comment. By the way, my friend Helen Howie says, I love Cold Justice, but it isn't showing here just now. I hope you'll be able to get to watch it soon, Helen, and thank you for always leaving a comment on the replay crew. I do appreciate it. Nancy S. said her hometown was in the thumbnail the other night for the Late Show True Crime Night Owl show. Nancy says, my hometown, I have to catch on replay. Thanks, Ping. Thank you. I appreciate it. So people really get a kick out of these thumbnails. Cardiff? Yeah, we can do Cardiff in the UK. Nope, no Huntington Beach. I must have got confused with Oceanside. We can do Huntington Beach, California. Don't they have a great boardwalk down there where people like rollerblade and stuff down in Huntington Beach? All right, let's get to some more true crime. What time is it? We got on here at 12:30. It's about 2. We have a small update in the Gregory Lynn stuff, if I can grab it. It's because it's going on right now. They're right in court right now, so let me grab that update. If I can find it, which is what I always say. Where are you, Mr. Update? Wait, I just saw mushrooms. I thought this was I saw mushrooms and I was like, Aaron Patterson. But no, it's just something about 8 everyday foods that are great for your gut health. Unless you're Aaron Patterson. All right, here it is. So that's the photo. They did like those sketches from the Supreme Court. That's what he looks like in photo form, apparently. Let's see if there's anything else on here. Okay. Trial is expected. Oh, no. Sorry, I did this already. We have to wait till tomorrow for more opening statements. I know someone else said at the start of the show that Kresha said a couple of nice words. I very much appreciate it if she's listening. If you're out there, Kresha, I know she probably is. Yeah, she's a very lovely lady. It's very kind of her to do that. Yeah, watch out. We're going to do a season 2 of Around the World Thumbnails very soon. Don't be mean to Rebe. She's very busy. So there's only like a small bit of time every so often that we can get together and she can do a little bit of work for the channel. So it'll happen when she has time. We'll get there. All right, let's get another story. Let's get out of here. You know what's really sad? I still don't have an update on that girl that was killed, sexually assaulted, and dumped in a drain in Texas. I'm pretty sure I don't have an update for her, which is so sad. How does a 17-year-old girl who's fresh from graduation or is about to graduate gets murdered and R-worded, thrown into a drain, and they're just like, yeah, we don't know. You know, it happens to 17-year-olds all the time. We don't have any leads. We dragged 2 people in, had 2 persons of interest, charged no one. We're out of leads. We don't know. Really, really awful. This story out of KSAT again. A fisherman has discovered a human skull in a body of water near the Leon Creek Greenway North Park Trail, according to the San Antonio police. The discovery was made around 11 a.m. on Sunday. That's interesting. The fisherman spotted a skull inside the water and contacted authorities. Upon arrival, authorities confirmed the discovery was a human skull. No foul play is suspected, as authorities believe the skull belonged to a homeless person who lived nearby. Authorities have not identified who the skull belonged to. How would they know that? Are they just like, yeah, we've been looking for a skull for a while. There's a homeless dude here, often walks around with no head. And, we've been looking for it for about a month. Like, you're going to have to do some sort of DNA testing or dental records, I reckon. I mean, you can't just be like, yeah, we know whose skull that is. It's all good. We'll just put a label on it and put it away. We'll just send it back to the family. Oh, that is very sweet of her. She doesn't have to do that. That is very nice of her to tell everyone to sub here. Hey, love is a 4-letter word. How are you? You want to stay forever? They found there was an update? I swear to God I checked. Hold on. Apparently so.
Our first exclusive look at a juvenile charged in connection with the strangulation death of 17-year-old Caitlin Hernandez. The 15-year-old suspect appeared in juvenile court this morning after police say they got a DNA match that led to his arrest. KENS 5 Sue Kalberg was the only reporter in the courtroom. She's live now with more on what happened. Sue.
Audrey, there has been a tremendous outpouring of support for the family of 17-year-old Caitlin Hernandez. As you said, the girl left her Northeast Side home near Del Oak Drive about 6 weeks ago, and when she didn't return, her family and friends found out in a desperate search for her. Caitlin was found dead in a drainage culvert. The ME says she was strangled. Now today, that 15-year-old who was interviewed early on, who's accused of being involved through DNA evidence, appeared before Judge Cruz Shaw. Representatives for the state told the judge the teen remains a danger to himself and others. The defense attorney asked for his release.
We are asking for release on GPS monitor. He does have the ability to behave, and if he is restrained to his home and a school curfew.
Sorry, what did you just say? Did you just say he has the ability to behave? He's alleged to have taken his neighbor, gone for a walk with her, sexually assaulted and R-worded her, murdered her via strangulation, and you're like, oh yeah, he can behave, let's put him out on bail. No. Let's not do that. Let's put him in detention until he can defend himself in a court. I mean, that is a horrific way to kill supposed to be a friend. And maybe it's like unrequited love. Maybe he liked her and she was like, not interested. Ridiculous. Yeah, you can make one for Kresher in New Orleans. That is horrible. They interviewed him early on. He was one of two people they brought in as persons of interest in the case. He was the first person. Then they released a image of a second person they brought in as a person of interest or a suspect. At the time, they said neither of them were the ones they were looking for. And now we're back and they're saying DNA has connected him to the death of Caitlin. Very interesting. I've been trying to get an update on this for a while. This happened. It must have slipped through the cracks because I normally search this every week or so. 2nd of May. So it must have been when we got caught up in a different case and I forgot to search it. Happy they finally did something about it. It just felt like for weeks there was nothing. It just, no update. Family didn't know. They did the memorial for her. If you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe we can go back and I can show you the original video.
Now we take you back to San Antonio, where a teenager who was supposed to graduate this May is now being mourned by her loved ones.
The teenager found dead in a ditch and leaving her family with zero answers as to what happened. The family of Caitlin Hernandez says she and a neighbor went for a walk on Tuesday and never returned. Later that night, her naked body found under a bridge, and police say she was strangled. Now, Caitlin's family is begging for someone to step up with no arrests in her murder.
I'm begging you, please, please, somebody speak up. Somebody knows something.
Police say they did interview the neighbor.
I have no idea why the video just stopped, but happens, I guess. Yeah, originally they did interview that neighbor. He was brought in for questioning, and then they released him. So I don't know what they were waiting on. Maybe DNA. Brenda. Hey, Brenda. Good evening. Yes, good evening to you. Yeah, we spoke about that earlier. San Antonio is having a rough few weeks or a rough couple of months. We've done a million stories out of San Antonio recently. I know. I hope this court session will hurry up and not that they can move on with their lives, but they can have some sort of finality to at least that part of it, because what a way to drag it out to have to do two separate court cases for Lori and Chad, and then have to wait such a massive amount of time. Like, what are we talking, like 3 years almost by the time this is done? That takes a toll on everyone. Doesn't matter what part of the family you are. It doesn't matter if you're directly related or you're a little bit away, you're a second step away, or you're 10 steps away. It puts a drag on everything. And even though it's about seeing justice being served, still has an impact. your life's almost on hold until they can finish this. And all I can hope for is a good resolution, get a hopefully, God willing, a strong sentence, and never have to hear about these losers ever again, like Chad and Laurie. I hope we never have to see their faces again. Although we probably have to in Arizona for Laurie. Yeah, we can do Toronto. Well, no, you're not an idiot. There's no dumb questions in this chat. All right. That's great news. I'm really happy you guys told me about that because I just felt for her family so much that it just felt like there was no movement in this case for at least a couple of months. Very happy with that. But you gotta admit, a 15-year-old was able to strangle and sexually assault this girl. What kind of person is he at 15? That is freaky. All right. I want to bring you a case from Australia. Marie Crabtree, 57, is charged with the murders of her adult children, Erin and Jonathan, in 2012 and 2017, respectively. She is also charged with 11 Commonwealth offences linked to alleged fraud and is facing 1 count each of attempted murder and attempted fraud. Earlier this year, Ms. Crabtree pleaded not guilty to Jonathan's murder, along with the charges of attempted murder and attempted fraud. She is yet to stand trial for Erin's alleged murder. They're saying here the Crown alleges Ms. Crabtree gave her adult son a fruit juice laced with a lethal dose of prescription medication before claiming thousands of dollars from life insurance payout. But the trial was aborted after a significant number of documents that were relevant to the case and the evidence of the Crown's star witness, Ms. Crabtree's daughter Tara, came to light. So here's the family. This is Erin and Jonathan. They were both, allegedly killed by their mum, Miss Crabtree. Miss Crabtree was granted bail in February after spending some 6 years in custody. During an earlier review in March, the court was told a forensic analysis of a blender revealed traces of prescription drugs, including oxycodone, diazepam, and quetiapine. I don't know what that one is. On Monday, the court was told that only some of the drugs found in the forensic analysis of blender allegedly used to blend the fatal drink were found in Jonathan's toxicology report. So that's interesting. Only some of them were. Justice Peter Davis said that he had some concerns about the potential conflicting evidence of the drugs Tara told her mother allegedly put into the blender and the results of Jonathan's toxicology report. They said, I've been thinking a lot about this case because it's such a peculiar one, Justice Davis said. I'm worried that if we don't look at this properly, this is going to be piecemeal. There's certain drugs found in his system. They're not all the drugs that Tara says goes into the blender. You've now got an expert who says that some of those drugs go into the blender and now found in the blender? Now, what? You've now got an expert who says that some of the drugs that go into the blender are now found in the blender. So that potentially corroborates her story. What I'm worried about is that the Crown still has to explain, I would have thought, why the drugs Tara says go into the blender are either not found in the blender or not found in Jonathan, which is important. There might be an answer to that, who knows, but we're going to have to send the evidence of what's found in the blender back to toxicology. The court was told the Crown was also still considering whether they would proceed with the murder charge against Ms. Crabtree in light of new evidence. Ms. Crabtree's defense lawyer told the court that they'd found their own expert to review the Crown's forensic analysis. Justice Davis adjourned the matter until June 17th for further review. He said this case seems to be going on forever. It's unlikely that no matter what happens, there will be a trial this year and that it proceeds. No trial date has been set for either alleged murder case. So she's alleged to have put a bunch of medication in a blender, killed 2 of her children, allegedly, according to this article. And now they're saying there's new forensic information that they want to have a look at toxicology again. I can't tell you why that is funny, but it is. Yes, thank you, Rebe, for all you do. She does a lot. 400. She's 400 years old. She's 57. There you go, 57. Her children, they don't give me an age of the children. Thanks for that. Who's copy editing this? So her 18-year-old daughter Erin in 2012 died, and her 26-year-old son Jonathan in 2017. So there you go. We'll see what happens in June. Wow, really? Today marks 4 years for the Susan Morphew case. Wow, really? It does not seem like 4 years ago. Ah, that's insane. It feels like just yesterday. Just yesterday we were talking about Susan Morphew going missing. Really does. Yeah. All right. So that was an interesting one. If you like Australian cases, keep an eye out for that one. That will be a very interesting in March 2024. Okay.
Case of a Maudsley mother charged with murdering her 2 adult children. Anna Rawlings has more from Brisbane Supreme Court.
More than 6 years after Jonathan Crabtree's alleged overdose murder, prosecutors have revealed traces of drugs have been found. A blender allegedly used by his mother, Marie Crabtree, to lace a fruit smoothie with a lethal dose of prescription medication has been tested, revealing traces of 3 prescription drugs. Ms. Crabtree stood at trial earlier this year, charged with giving Jonathan an overdose in a fruit smoothie. Proceedings against her ended in a mistrial, and she was granted bail after 6 years in prison. Marie Crabtree returned to court in person for a case review today, as prosecutors revealed the blender results, telling the court the findings are relevant to allegations from Ms. Crabtree's daughter Tara about her mother lacing the fruit smoothie. The previous mistrial was ordered after evidence emerged that cast doubt on Tara's credibility as a key witness. Ms. Crabtree is also accused of murdering her other daughter Erin on a separate occasion. Marie Crabtree remains on bail. The case is next due back in court in May.
There you go. And they came back in May. Now they want more toxicology, and they'll be back in June. Like the justice said, it seems to be dragging on forever. So I don't know. We'll find out in May, apparently. Very interesting case. I've not heard of one like this down here before. Ah, it was too. Mother's Day 2020. Don't Popcorn says, how weird. I know. Don't know. Seems to be quite a lot of them. By the way, I would like to thank, I didn't even see this because I haven't checked, but I wanted to thank Kathy Lynch. Kathy Lynch sent in some money for the court trip. I really appreciate that, Kathy. You didn't have to do that, but it will be useful, and I do appreciate it. That is very, very sweet of you, and it is much appreciated. It is very kind of you. And it was a little shocking. I logged in, I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting anything. But thank you very, very much. Shiva says, yeah, she likes how she exclaims things. All right. I don't know how much more we have for today. I think that's going to be almost about it. And then we're going to be back tomorrow. Let me just check and make sure because every time I hop off, I see something and I'm like, oh, there it is. Oh, that's the one I wanted to do. What is this? Fox 25. All right.
From developing news tonight, the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation is looking for this man, 22-year-old Jacob Mayhew, in connection to a triple homicide out of Chickasha. Officials say the incident happened today, and according to OSBI, Mayhew is a person of interest in the case. We're working to learn more and we'll update you on OKCFox.com with the latest. Authorities are asking anyone with information about where Mayhew may be or information about the case to contact the OSBI at 1-800-522-8017. You can also email them at tips@osbi.ok.gov.
Side of their houses here while OSBI was investigating this area and those two houses down there after finding 3 people dead. Now, a neighbor says she was asleep after working a night shift and woke up to investigators putting yellow tape near her house, confused as to what had happened. Now, once they learned what happened, many of them said they were shocked by the news. And police have not said the names of the victims, but we know that the victims were 2 women and 1 man. Neighbors say they're praying for the families and for Chickasha.
Everybody knows who they are. They were very ingrained into the community, as far as I know, forever. They were just some of the sweetest people.
It's shocking to see, that's right across the street from our house. They were just really good people. It's just surprising and shocking, senseless.
Now, we reached out to OSBI if they had any updates into this investigation, and they did not have any. In Chickasha, Dakota Wapakichi, KOCO 5 News.
A triple homicide in Chickasha. But what reason? They said they're looking for 22-year-old Jacob Mayhew as a person of interest. We showed him before. Residents leaving near the scene of the crime talked about what they witnessed. One neighbor said she fell asleep after working a night shift, woke up to find investigators putting that yellow tape around her house, confused as to what had happened. Once those living in the area learned that the 3 neighbors were found dead, they said they were shocked by the news. Law enforcement have not released the names of the victim, but said the victims were 2 adult women and 1 adult man. Everyone knows who they are, apparently, according to that witness. Neighbors said they're praying for the families and for Chickasha. It's shocking to see that's right across the street from our house. They were really good people, surprising, shocking, and senseless. The OSBI said they do not have any updates on the investigation as of Sunday evening. Mayhew was last seen on Friday afternoon in Chickasha, leaving his tan 2000 GMC Yukon SUV, plate number FIG110, around Almar Drive and South 4th Street. Anyone with information asked to contact tips@osbi.gov. No, tips@osbi.ok.gov. Or call 1-800-522-8017.
Happening right now, there is a triple homicide investigation taking place in Chickasha. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigations now says that they are searching for a person of interest.
Yeah, OSBI just releasing this information just a few moments ago. They say they're looking for this man here on your screen, 22-year-old Jacob Mayhew. Again, they are calling him a person of interest. If you know where he is or see him, contact authorities. OSBI says they were called to the area of South 6th and Washington Avenue to assist with the investigation. And of course, we have a crew there and on the scene.
There you go, a triple homicide. I hope they figure that out. Hey, what are you trying to say? Who is it? Which guy? This guy? Let me see. Yeah, maybe. Maybe a little bit. My name's not Jacob, though. And I don't live in Chickasha. And he can't have an accent as Australian as this. All right. Yes. By the way, if you missed it, Kathy, I said thank you very much for your donation. I very much appreciate your contribution to the court trip later this month. It is very, very much appreciated. My hair's not slicked back though; it's just tied back. See, I normally have it in a bun, but not today. See, it's actually shaved all under here, and it's only this top piece that's long. There you go. It used to be all long, but I cut it 6 months ago. Who's doing building work next to my window? Sorry, had to go check on something. That's right. They're telling me to go home. That's a funny story, and I can't tell you why it's funny because it's a family story, but maybe one day. Yeah, happy Mother's Day to everyone. I hope you have a great Mother's Day. By the way, Sean, yesterday when we did the live show, you sent in a donation right as I hit the off button, and I got the email after I got off, and I was like, happens every day. And I was like, poor Sean. And I was like, I never get to thank him on the show when he actually sends it in. So I appreciate it. All right. Let me see. We could do a pet thing. Hold on. Let me see which one I've got. Where's our pet document? Who have we done? Have we done Nikolai? I think we have. That's Mr. Bad Kitty. I think we did that one. Yes. We did the Parramatta one. Have we done Jet yet? That's a long one though. It's really long. Oh no, it's not that bad. All right, we could do this one. All right, how do I get this? All right, save this and save. I got to figure out how to download this. All right, download. All right. Let's do a pet crimes of the week. Tonight is Jet. Jet is a black cat. Here you go. Here's Jet. He is inmate ID 287-687-672676, date 26 of the 4th, 24. He's been in custody for a while. We really need to deal with this. I mean, he is a criminal, an actual criminal. You know, the justice system doesn't take too kindly to this. Now, I have a trial transcript here. I can't put it up on the screen because it's literally like super white, and I don't want to burn anyone's eyes out at midnight on a Sunday. So you guys can look at Jet and I can read this out. So apparently, I'll show you a little bit here. Where's my thing here? So it's a trial transcript. It's pretty cool. Reby did a good job of this. Nope, not that. So as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see it on the screen. There you go. It's all like Honorable Judge Ping and the prosecutor K9. That's funny. Attorney Mr. Bulldog and defendant Jet the Cat. So this is from Pingville, Southern Hemisphere District. So we're going to do this. I'm going to put this back up on the screen. You can see the suspect in the chambers right there. I'm going to tell you. So this is from the transcript when he was on trial. This is very interesting. It says court is now in session. We are here today to hear the case of United States of Ping versus Jet the Cat, Mr. K9. You may begin your questioning. And apparently Mr. K9 approaches the witness stand where Jet is sitting comfortably. He says, "Thank you, Your Honor. Jet, you are stand accused of knocking multiple items off shelves at 123 Whisker Street. How do you plead?" Jet stares blankly at Mr. K9, her tail flicking lazily. Mr. K9 says, "I see you're sticking with your usual tactic of evasion. Let's talk specifics. 3 decorative vases, all shattered. Can you explain why you pushed them off the shelf?" Jet leans forward, stretches, and yawns. K9 says, "I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to try to remain calm." And he says, "What about the fruit bowl? You knocked it over, leaving a mess for your owner to clean up. Do you deny your involvement?" Jet watches a fly buzzing around the courtroom, clearly not paying attention. Mr. K9, Your Honor, it's clear Jet has no remorse for her actions and is not taking this trial seriously. Her disregard for the consequences of her mischief speaks volumes. And apparently me, being the judge, said, "Thank you, Mr. K9. Mr. Bulldog, you may present your defense." Oh, we got a defense. Mr. Bulldog stands up and walks over to Jet, offering her a treat. Jet, I know these questions were difficult for you, but you've done nothing wrong. You were simply following your instincts as a cat. The vases and fruit bowls were clearly in your way, and it was your duty to clear the path. And apparently it says Jet eats a treat from Mr. Bulldog's hand. Mr. Bulldog says, see, Jet is an innocent creature who deserves nothing but praise for her agility and precision. She was merely expressing her natural curiosity, and it's not her fault if humans leave delicate items within her reach. Mr. Canine interrupts a courtroom with objection, Your Honor. The defense is trying to portray Jet as a misunderstood hero. She's wreaked havoc at 123 Whisker Street. And apparently, me being the hard ass that I am, I said, overruled, Mr. Bulldog. Continue your questioning. Mr. Bulldog says, thank you, Your Honor. In conclusion, Jet is not a criminal, but a cat simply being a cat. These charges against her should be dismissed. And then I, took it into my consideration. I looked at Jet, who's now rolling around on a chair. They always do that in the court. We're going to have to get different chairs, apparently. Says here, very well, court is adjourned. Jet, you may go back to your usual activities. Just remember, be careful with your owner's belongings. Jet springs up and dashes out of the courtroom. That was the end of the court transcript. There you go. That's the way we deal with pet crimes on this channel. They are dealt with seriously and in harsh manners. There you go. Docket is done. Brenda says, I love this kitty story. Wow, you knock down vases, you end up in Pingsville, Southern Hemisphere District Court under Judge Ping. Dismissed kitty free, that's right. Cat being cat, boys will be boys, girls will be girls, cat will be cat. There you go. So that was the one. That's the one we did for Jet, Mr. Jet, Mr. Jet Cat, Mrs. Jet Cat, Miss Jet Cat. Don't think she's married, so it's Miss Jet. It's a lady cat. There you go. What a pretty cat. I will tell you something funny. Next door where I live, there is a jet black cat that lives just here, but it's a short fur, not a long fur, and its name is I can't remember now. His name is Phoenix, and he's like jet black, like this cat. And he just sits in the window all day long, looking at everything outside. Every time we walk past, he's just looking at stuff. It's a really pretty cat. She was named after Joan Jett, because she's a rock and roll cat, and she's all black. So she gets all that, metal kind of, theming. Out on bail, out on catnip. Jet black. Yep. So that was a good one. I like that one. What else do we have? We got others. Have we done? I'm just trying to see if we've done them all. I think we have Bunny Cat to do. No? We've got a couple here. So we'll do another one tomorrow night. Just let me check what this says. No, we did Bunny Cat. That's Reeby's one. Yeah, that's Reeby's cat. Did we do Loki? We did Loki and the Christmas lights. That was a good one. I think we've done them all. Oh, no, we haven't done Nikolai. No, we did. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm losing track. I know we've done a few of them. I know. I'll ask Reeby after we get out of here. Yeah, we did that one. That's the one where they destroy the couch with the weapons. The Geneva Convention contacted me last week. They want to know more about those weapons. They're very concerned they might get into, terrorist hands, things like that. Nikolai is a real menace. He may have to be, we may have to get a burn notice, a red notice from Interpol, smuggling weapons outside of the Geneva Convention. It's dangerous. One day I'll tell you, they do crimes every day. These guys are literally career criminals. Rory has smashed bowls, smashed everything, chewed through things. Just last week, I bought a brand new loaf of bread. I put it up here. I was going to put it away after we did the show. I just popped it up next to my desk here. And I got distracted by something, and Apparently, she hopped up, chewed through the bag, and started eating the loaf of bread. And I was like, "Are you really serious?" I was like, "You didn't even like." She didn't even eat it. She just ate like a tiny piece of the bread, and she's like, "Yeah, that's good. I like Dad's food." And the whole bread was ruined because she just scattered it all over the lounge room. And Muffin, mm, he likes to annoy his sister. That's his favorite activity. His favorite activity is to annoy the crap out of Rory. He just likes to chase her around, and actually, they're being really nice to each other right now. I don't know why. They're sitting next to each other, which is bizarre. They never sit next to each other. Yeah, I can send photos of them. I'm just glad Muffin's not under my back. He likes to sleep behind me on this computer chair. All right, we should get out of here for the day. I really appreciate everyone. I appreciate Kresha. I'm going to go listen to her live show. As soon as we get out of here, I'm going to go listen to what she said. I was getting ready for the live show, so I didn't know. But I really appreciate that, Kresha. It was very kind of you. And we'll be back tomorrow night. I don't know exactly what's going on tomorrow night yet. I'm guessing I will find out sometime in the next 12 hours whether Trish is actually coming back tomorrow night. I suspect she will be because the Daybell court will be back on. And I think they have some things they want to do for you. If not, I will go at a later time. But if so, I will be back at 9:30 in the morning. It's been great to be on at 10:30. It's given me a little bit more time to sleep in every day, which has been nice. And yeah, we'll be back. Wait, we do 9, 12, 15 shows a week. I have no idea how many. But we'll be back tomorrow, 9 p.m. for a start of the American week, not the Australian week, the American week. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of things happening. Monday morning, everything happens. Might find out more about the guy who kidnapped his wife in Spain. Might find more about, I don't know, Mr. Potato Head, Mr. Daybell. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Couldn't ask for a better viewing audience on this channel. I don't ask for a ton from my channel, but I will ask this. We are so close to 1,000. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would really appreciate it. We're trying to get through that threshold. It allows me to do a lot more with the channel once we get to that point. You can join the YouTube partner program and things like that. And we've been sitting just under it for ages. So if you haven't, I would appreciate it. And if you have, double check your subscription status because every week I get emails from people saying, Ping, I was subscribed and now I'm not subscribed. I don't know. Are you unsubscribing me from your channel? I can't unsubscribe anyone. It's a YouTube thing. I have no idea why they do it, but they do. So double check your subscription status and I'll see you tomorrow night. Good night, everyone. Moonlight View, if you're out there, I hope you're having a great Sunday off with your family. To all the other ladies out there, I hope you had a great Mother's Day this weekend. I'll see you tomorrow night. Peace out.